Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down an absolute blockbuster of a match. We're looking at the electrifying highlights from the 2026 World Cup semifinal between France and Spain. The stakes literally do not get any higher than this, and the action we've got to unpack is nothing short of breathtaking. We're going to map out exactly how this massive matchup unfolded on the pitch, tracking the momentum shifts, the crucial plays, and the decisive moments that punched one team's ticket to the biggest game in global sports. Okay, let's dive into this because this broadcast quote perfectly captures the sheer gravity of what we're looking at. Just a glimpse of the World Cup final. This wasn't just a semifinal, right? It honestly felt like the pinnacle of the tournament itself. From the very first whistle, you could just feel the tension. It was obvious that whoever survived this clash would instantly become the absolute favorite to lift the trophy. It really sets the emotional stage for every single highlight we're about to see. Because this was a true clash of football titans. To fully grasp why this matchup was so seismic, you just have to look at the pedigree out there on the pitch. On one side, as the commentators pointed out, you've got Spain. They're the reigning champions of their continent, bringing that trademark rhythm and relentless control. And then on the exact opposite side, you have France, the most recent world champions, bringing a proven history of ultimate global success. You've got continental supremacy going head-to-head with recent global dominance. And why does that matter to us? Well, because this massive clash of styles is exactly why these highlights are so thrilling to break down. But in a match of this magnitude, something's got to give. And Spain strikes first. So it all starts with this highly chaotic blink-and-you-miss-it moment in the box. The commentary catches it perfectly, noting an incident where an awkward Fedla ball's gone over. It's scrappy, it's sudden, but it draws a penalty. The referee points to the spot, and suddenly we have the absolutely crucial first blow of the match. And man, did they capitalize on it. Just listen to the energy in the broadcast call here. Muel Obal strikes first to Spain. That right there, that is the sound of the entire narrative shifting in an instant. Muel Obal stepping up and bearing that strike meant Spain grabbed the advantage, putting the recent world champions firmly on their back foot. And this brilliantly illustrates what we saw next, a glittering Spanish display. Seriously, just listen to the names fueling the Spanish momentum. We're talking about a relentless, overwhelming wave of attacking talent. You've got Bradley Bacala, Yamal, and Almo just constantly pushing the pace. We saw Ruiz brilliantly steering the ball wide to stretch out that French defense, while Pedro Porro was aggressively pushing higher up the pitch to overwhelm the flanks. The broadcast noted it was really happening for Spain, with guys like Lamine and Dribble getting in on the action too. It was a true offensive masterclass, just a rapid-fire symphony of passing and movement. The aesthetic quality of this push was just undeniable. The commentators summed it up perfectly when they said, that was beautiful football. Even when the offside flag went up on plays like when Lehmann was running so free and easy, you literally couldn't help but marvel at their fluidity. The big takeaway here is that sometimes a team's structure is so fluid, so visually stunning, that it practically demoralizes the opposition before the ball even hits the back of the net. Now this is probably my favorite quote from the entire highlight reel. Just let this sink in for a second. Look at those wild eyes. The world is opening up for this glittering Spanish cohort. You can just feel the visceral energy from the booth, can't you? It wasn't just about winning a football match anymore. It felt like we were watching a passing of the torch. It's a new, glittering generation of Spanish players realizing in real time that the world is completely theirs for the taking. But look, you can never, ever count out the most recent world champions. Enter Mbappe's solo resistance. Let's actually track Mbappe's offensive bursts chronologically because it's wild. First, he's driving with incredible strength right at the Spanish lines. Just seconds later, he unleashes a fierce strike, forcing Simon to desperately cover his near post. In the very next minute, he keeps the pressure dialed up to 11, winning a corner off Cucurella. And finally, Ferran Torres sifts the ball forward quickly towards Mbappe again, but this final attack gets shut down by what the broadcast called a good read by Seyon. It was just a relentless one-man tidal wave of pressure. But Spain's defense somehow held firm under all that. And here's the crazy contrast. As chaotic and threatening as Kylian Mbappe was as a solo force, Spain answered with totally unified, scrambling teamwork. Like the commentary noted, Thierry Dudoué and Seymour got back. Their ability to recover, track back, and neutralize that solo threat was honestly just as vital as their beautiful attacking football. They bent, for sure, but they absolutely did not break. So, as the French resistance finally faded, time simply ran out. A ticket to the final. As a final flourish to really cap off this historic performance, the broadcast drops one last name into the mix. There's Nico Williams-Temple.
It just sounds so definitive, right? Like the final nail in the coffin, highlighting how Spain was still asserting their absolute dominance right up until the final whistle, making sure the French had zero way back into the game.
So the crucial point really comes down to this final number, 2. That 2-0 scoreline cements a completely comprehensive, undeniable victory for Spain over France. Keeping a clean sheet against the most recent world champions in a semifinal, that is a massive statement of intent. Which brings us to the triumphant realization that echoed right through the broadcast booth, a spectacular Spanish display. Spain will play the World Cup final. They didn't just win a game today, they put on an absolute spectacle. They outplayed, outmaneuvered, and completely outlasted a true footballing titan to earn their spot on the ultimate stage. And that leaves us with one final burning question. After watching this spectacular 2-0 display, a match where they dismantled France with both beautiful football and gritty, unified defense, is anyone actually capable of stopping this glittering Spanish cohort in the World Cup final? They've got the momentum, they've got the wild eyes, and the world is wide open for them. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and enjoy the final.